everybody is taking care and being blessed today. Today's video is going to be about me working on some knotless braids. I have been practicing on these knotless braids, not really for that long, I'm not going to lie to you. But I have the technique down and I wanted to show it to you guys because I know a lot of people was asking me, was I doing a knotless braids? You always got to stay innovative and on top of all your game when it comes to hairstyling. So I was like, no, I don't want to, but I sat here and found an easier way and I wanted to share it with you guys. First, you'll be needing any type of 100% Kekalon hair. Some people like to use the expressions hair. If you like that texture, whatever texture you like, it's all up to you, but this is a texture that I like. This color is not the same. Because I was working on a client hair, they left some hair for me and gave it to me. So this is the only color that I have. So I do have brown, but you get the color that you want. I already done these braids because I like to always section off my braids. To me, I found that it was, to me, a little bit easier to do the knotless braids with them already being braided, or you can do it not being braided. So let's get started. First, let's go ahead and take out the amount of hair that you're gonna use. I use 2 strands, and it all depends on, when it comes to how much hair to use, it all depends on how thick you want your braids to be. So it all depends on how thick you want them to be. But I just go ahead and get those 2 together and out, so I don't have to get it. And I just do 1 braid per. So I take 2, get that ready, and I do 1 braid per and get the hair together, if that makes sense. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, hopefully you can see it good. Hold on 1 good second. I'll make sure you guys can see it. Hold on. Okay. Hopefully you can see it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and actually take out this braid, because like I said, to me, I like to section off my hair, and the hair act better when it's been braided, to me, versus not being braided. So what I like to do is have about this much braided. Anyway, I'm gonna show you with the braid being braided and without it being braided. I like to always braid with some type of product. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put the product on it. What I like to do, y'all, is make sure you keeping your sections separate, because you know it takes 3 sections to make that braid. So just take out the 3 sections that you used, keep them nice and tidy, and I just put a clip right there so we can keep that sectioned off. And now what I do is I grab the hair that I was using, and every time I use this type of hair, y'all, I make sure I pull the ends. Always pull the ends, because I like my ends to look nice and pulled versus just blunt. I don't like my ends to be blunt. So what I do, y'all, is I take off I always have you a duckbill clip. I take the duckbill clip off, and what I do is I take the hair and I just put it right behind the hair. So I make this into that strand, and I make this into that strand, and then we got the middle strand. So what I do now, guys, is I go in, I braid just like you're doing a braid, and then what I do is I borrow a little bit of hair for the middle, because you're going to be borrowing hair, if that makes sense. Hopefully you know how to borrow hair, and then you just do your braid. Go down just a little bit. And I don't go down too much, y'all, before I add the other hair in. And I do the same exact thing. Keep the 3 strands away from each other. So we got 1, 2, 3. And then what I do is keep them together, because I like to always keep it together. I take my duckbill clip and I clip it right there to keep it together. So then what I do, guys, is I take that hair, make sure you don't have too much hair. And you can tell, like, if you braid it and it looks too thick, you can be able to tell. So don't braid it all the way down. If you braid it halfway, you notice it's too thick, then don't braid it all the way. Look at what you're doing. Okay, so again, I always make sure my ends are feathered like that. I grab the duckbill clip and I grab my hair, making sure I keep everything together, 3 strands, and I put this hair right behind the strands, and all I do is make that same hair turn into these strands. So now you got 1 strand, 2 strand, 3 strand. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, and make sure your braids are nice and neat, I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit from that other strand so I can have 3 nice even strands. Braid tight. And see, I can tell I added too much hair. So what I'm gonna do, instead of keep on going, I'm gonna take it off, and I'm gonna take a little bit of this hair out. And that was good that I was able to show you guys. If you see that the braid is too thick, then don't keep on going. So what you gonna do, you got them strands right here. You go grab it, pinch it, find those strands. There's that strand, the left strand, right strand, and the middle strand. Add you a little bit of product. Okay, and then do your braid. You don't have to be super tight. Okay, and then when you do a rotation, go ahead and add some hair. Again, like I said, you guys, you'll be doing a lot of different adding. We're going to be adding hair to the other strands, making sure the strands are equally the same. And again, the way that you add hair is you just hold it, always hold it, hold the strands nice and tight. You got 1 strand, 2 strand, 3 strands. And I always take from this side. I always or if you need it in the middle, you take it from the middle, but I just always make sure whatever hair that I need, I take it a certain way. So you just keep on braiding, and we are done with adding those braids. And like I told you guys, I only add 2 strands. And what I do, y'all, is I pay attention to my other one. I go down to the same amount as my one that I have. And see, I have a nice knotless braid. And I don't know what it is. I'm telling you guys, it's something about, to me, going ahead and braiding it, getting it all sectioned off, and then unbraiding it, and then adding the hair, to me, makes it so much easier. But whichever is going to be easy for you. I mean, you can try both ways and see which way you like it. And I like to always section off my hair anyway, the braids, so you can be able to see, you know, how they land, and making sure they got brick layering and all that good stuff. So just pay attention to what you do. I like to use product too, y'all, while I'm braiding. Always. It makes the braids look a lot better. You can use whatever product that you want. I am using the Lock and Cream Wax. I always use this when I'm doing braids. I also like to use this Blue Magic Super Grow on braids too. It makes the hair does really good, and you gotta find you a nice gel too. This gel, this ain't really my go-to gel, but it's all right. You find whatever gel you like. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there. And see, we have these that I've been working on, and they look good. And maybe you would just dip them in hot water or curl them, however your client want it to be. Okay, so let's look at it at another angle. Okay, so again, I'm going to unbraid this. And like I told you guys, I'm going to show you how to do it if it wasn't braided. But I don't know, just like to me, the hair attaches better with it half braided. Okay, so I like to take it about, so you'll be really, if it wasn't braided, you'll braid to about right there. And then what I like to do is put product on the hair, put my duckbill clip. You're going to need some duckbill clips. What you're going to do is keep those away from each other. You want to keep the strands away from each other. Okay, so go ahead and take out you 2 strands. Like I told you guys, go ahead and get it pulled, get it ready. Okay, so we did that. So let's go in. I'm going to show you again, guys. Grab it right in the middle right here. Take your 3 strands, same 3 strands that you had. Put them just like this. Lay them just like that. Go ahead and lay the weave hair right behind it and set it right back up nice and tidy. You got 3 strands, that, and that, and that's the weave. So give yourself a braid. Do a little braid. And then you're going to do some borrowing. Go ahead and take a little bit of hair, because remember, we want the strands to all be the same. So you will have to be borrowing hair from other angles, you know, until you get it same. Okay, so now what I do is I braid down just a little bit, not a lot. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to add the other hair. Same concept. You're doing the same thing over and over, keeping your 3 strands away from each other. If you want to, go ahead and add your product. Get your duckbill clip. Bam. Put it right there. You already got your other hair waiting. Okay. Pull it, because remember, we want them ends nice and pulled. Go ahead and grab it right in the middle. Use your little pincher finger. Go ahead and take those 3 strands that you last was working with. Now, the same 3 strands. Make them nice and neat. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that weave, my weave, put it right behind. And I'm going to make that into that strand, that left strand, make it to that right strand. Okay. Now I got them nice and neat. Make sure all your strands are nice and neat, and braid. Okay, and like I told you guys, I always like to borrow a little bit of hair just to make sure all my strands are the same. Okay. Make sure you use your product And now you just braid down. And that's how you do a knotless braid. And the good thing, y'all, about knotless braids is, like, if a person is very tender-headed, I think this is a good concept. Do I think it lasts as long as regular braids? I will probably say no. The only reason I will say no is because you're using your real hair. And you know how real hair tends to get fuzzy faster. But I do think it can last a long time. But I don't think it lasts as long as if you started from the root. But this is a good way, like I said, if somebody is tender-headed. And just start from the very, go down to the bottom of each braid. Make sure you making each braid end at the same location. And if it don't end at the same location, braid them to make sure they end at the same location, because you want all your braids to match. And what I mean by that is, say for instance, if you got done with all of them, they didn't match, go ahead and braid the ends so they all can match. Okay, I'm going to do one more off camera, and then I'm going to come back and show you guys how to do it if the braids wasn't in. Okay, guys, I'm going to do one for you if your hair wasn't braided. Okay, so what I like to always do is put some gel. Go ahead and do a 3-strand braid. And braid down like maybe about 2 inches, 2 to 3 inches. About this amount. You see that? About 2 to 3 inches. Take your duckbill clip, put it right there. So you see about the amount that I braided down to? See that? Okay. So go ahead and get your hair braided, your hair that you're going to be using. Always pull the ends. Like I said, you want the ends to always be nice and tapered. You don't want no blunt ends when you're doing braids. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take keep everything together. Like I said, you got to keep your 3 strands. Okay, put your weave behind. Keep your weave behind. Keep your 3 strands separate. Okay, now go ahead and do your braid. Use you some product. Okay, do you a little grab. You want to be able to borrow from the other side. Keep your 3 strands. Okay, so once you get that in, now what we're going to do again, grab your duckbill clip. And the reason why you're grabbing the duckbill clip because you don't want your braid to unravel all the way. So that's why you're doing it. You want to keep your 3 strands separate. And that's how it's keeping the 3 strands separate, by using that duckbill clip. Okay, so what you're going to do, go up to the duckbill clip, keep your hand right in the middle. Okay, add this to the back. Hold tight. Make sure you got your 1, 2, 3 sections. Go ahead and braid down. Okay, then once you get it half braided down, go ahead and just borrow a little bit of hair for that middle part. And then you just continue to braid. And then if you see one of the strands look not as thick, just go ahead again, borrow. You're going to be having to borrow a couple times maybe to be able to get that braid the way you want it. And now you just braid down, and that's it. And like I told you guys, this is really good for somebody that's tender-headed. If you want to take a class with me, I would love to be able to teach you how to do this hands-on. I will include all my information. My classes are very cheap because I want to make, not cheap, but I want to make sure that they are affordable for everyone. So that's why I kind of have it at the rate that I have it. I am located in Dallas, Georgia. Again, that is it, guys. Just wanted to show you real quick how to do knotless braids another way. Because, you know, everybody got different ways. And this is a great way to do them. And if you want your hair done by me, most definitely contact me. I would love to do your hair. Okay, y'all. I am going to stop my working. I call it working in the lab when I'm experimenting, practicing. And there we have it, y'all. There we have it. Nice, knotless braids. Okay, guys, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll chat with you guys later. Bye, guys.